A woman named Jane wakes up on the edge of an island. She feels weak, but then notices her friend Brad lying nearby. He is not breathing. A sharp shell has cut his stomach.
Brad! Hello! Lucas! Brad.
Jane ties some cloth on his wound and brings him coconut water.
Brad.
But it's too late. Brad dies. Jane cries in pain. She starts walking around the island. The place is full of thick forest. Inside the forest, Jane sees a bag hanging from a tree and a cooler on the ground. She checks the bag and finds old medicine from 1994. In the cooler, there are Coca-Cola bottles that look more than 20 years old. She also finds a thermos, an iron box, cards, dice, and matches. Jane keeps finding old things, a tent, a backpack with kids' games, a car radio, and even a teddy bear. Then she hears a strange sound from a hollow tree. When she checks, it's just a bird. She covers Brad's body with leaves. All around her, there's only sand and sea. That night, it rains heavily. Jane hides under leaves and uses a jacket to stay warm. In the morning, she catches a fish by the shore. Later, she finds a fish half-eaten. This makes her worried. She tries to cut the fish with stones, but fails and gets angry. She then sits with her cooler and looks at her diary. The words are washed away, but photos of her and her boyfriend are still safe. While exploring, Jane finds 3 old graves on the island. Stones are placed on top of them. She buries Brad's body too. That night, she makes a small shelter and cooks the fish on fire. It's her second night on the island. But in the morning, she sees Brad's grave is dug open and his body is gone. Blood marks are on the ground. Jane gets scared. She quickly makes a wooden spear and goes into the forest, but she finds nothing. She waits all night, but nobody comes. The next day, she sees something floating in the water. When she swims closer, she finds a bucket and a briefcase. Looking down, she notices a giant, deep black hole under the sea. Inside the briefcase, she finds clothes and sneakers. Jane wears the shoes to protect her feet. That night, while sitting by the fire, she checks the box and finds some old photos. Suddenly, she hears a plane flying.
Come back! Hey, come back!
She fires her flare gun, but the plane is too far away. In the flare's light, Jane sees something rise out of the water. It looks like a human-shaped creature. Scared, she runs and hides in the forest. The creature walks around near her, but doesn't see her. Jane stays quiet until it leaves. The next morning, Jane looks at the photos again. She realizes they belong to a family who once lived on this island. In the last picture, she sees the same creature's eyes and the bag on the tree. She understands a creature killed that family and buried them here. Jane then tries to make a boat using life jackets and the briefcase. But when she goes into the sea, water fills inside and it sinks. Her plan fails. At night, she climbs a tree with her weapon to stay safe. Soon, the creature's voice is heard again. It starts shaking the tree. Jane stays silent and still. Luckily, this saves her once more. The next morning, Jane uses her weapon to catch a shark. At night, she cuts it up and sets the shark as bait in a trap. But when she closes her eyes for a moment, the bait is gone. The monster has taken it. The next day, Jane finds half of a man's body on the shore. She uses the body as bait for the creature. She hides again in her secret spot. The monster comes and starts dragging the body into the sea. At the same time, a plane flies above the island. But this time, Jane stays silent and doesn't send any signal. The next morning, Jane builds herself a bed high up on a coconut tree to stay safe. It is her 7th night on the island. Lightning flashes in the sky. In that light, Jane sees the creature staring at her. It pulls the rope, and Jane falls to the ground. She runs quickly, but the monster chases her. It even jumps out of the water after her. But then the creature jumps again and lands right in front of her. Jane attacks it, but the monster throws her far away. Then it disappears back into the sea. Jane, hurt and tired, climbs onto a rock and stays there all night. By morning, she washes her wounds with seawater. Then she sees a survival raft floating nearby. Swimming closer, she is shocked. It's her boyfriend Lucas and her friend Mia. Jane cries with happiness and hugs Lucas. He tells her everything will be fine. Jane makes food for them and even gives them the old Coca-Cola she found. She warns them that the island is dangerous, telling them about the sea creature and the deep black hole under the water. But Lucas and Mia don't believe her. Jane then tells Mia that Brad, her other friend, died here. She explains how he drowned and was buried, but the monster later took his body. Mia feels very sad hearing this. Later, Mia shares how terrible her time in the ocean was. Only silence, no food, no water, and no signs of life. Jane tells her that the island is even worse, because it is better to die quickly than to live in fear of the monster every day. Jane tells Lucas they must leave before nightfall and asks for his knife. She notices bloodstains on it and starts to feel something is wrong, that maybe Lucas and Mia are hiding something about what happened on the raft. In the next scene, Jane is shown carrying food from the sea. She collects enough to last for a week, all by herself. But when she comes back, Lucas and Mia say they are too tired. They refuse to believe her about the monster. Instead, they plan to stay on the island, light a fire, and wait for a plane to rescue them. Jane argues and says she will leave on her own. She takes her supplies and tries to sit on the raft. But Lucas and Mia stop her. She struggles, but suddenly Mia hits her on the head, making her faint. When Jane wakes up, it is already dark. She finds herself tied up. Mia apologizes, saying she tied Jane only to stop her from running away. She insists the island is safe and that there is no monster. Lucas agrees, saying he searched the whole forest and found nothing. Jane warns them that the monster does not come from the forest. It comes from the sea. Mia gets annoyed and goes to walk near the shore. She finds a dead fish there. Meanwhile, Lucas talks angrily to Jane. He says she was always in a bad mood on the raft, that she causes problems in his life, and that she didn't even think about how they would survive without food. He accuses her of being selfish for trying to leave them behind. Jane tells Lucas that they have enough food to survive, but the real problem is the monster. It won't let them live in peace. Lucas insults Jane harshly. Suddenly, they hear Mia's terrifying screams. They rush to the shore and see the sea monster attacking Mia. Lucas tries to fight it with a burning torch, but the creature throws him far away. Jane is still tied with ropes. She struggles hard and finally frees herself. She runs to save Mia, but it's too late. The monster drags Mia into the water. Lucas is in shock. Jane pulls him away from the sea deep into the jungle. They spend the night there. By morning, Lucas is sitting on a tree. He thinks the monster is hiding in the forest, but Jane explains it never comes out during the day. Lucas blames himself for Mia's death and can't recover from the loss. To distract him, Jane tells him to pack supplies so they can leave before night. Jane catches another fish and uses her last match to cook it. After eating, she searches the island for more supplies. Finally, she and Lucas sit on the raft and leave the island. While sailing, Jane notices bloodstains on the raft. She thinks it must be Jack's blood. Suddenly, Lucas sees something moving in the water. The monster attacks again. They hide inside the raft, but the creature hits it from all sides. Then it rips through the raft and grabs Jane. Lucas shoots the flare gun, forcing the monster back. For a moment, everything goes quiet, but then the monster suddenly drags Jane under the water. This time, we see its full body. It is half human and half shark. Jane struggles hard, but then remembers her pocket knife. She stabs the monster. Black blood spreads in the water, and it lets her go. The monster then attacks Lucas. He jumps into the sea to save Jane, but the monster catches him. Lucas tries to fight, but nothing works. The creature drags him down into the giant black hole. Jane has no choice but to escape. She swims back to the island, and the broken raft washes up on shore. Cold and weak, she struggles to light a fire. Once it burns, she warms herself. She writes her final message in her diary. In it, she warns anyone who might come to this island in the future. She explains everything about the monster, so others can be safe even if she dies. But Jane doesn't give up. She prepares for the final fight. She sharpens branches into spears, makes more weapons from old bones, and gathers dry leaves to burn later as a distraction. That night, the monster comes out of the sea. It walks right into Jane's traps. She sets fire all around it, confusing the creature. Then she attacks with her spears. She stabs it again and again, but the monster throws her to the ground. Jane refuses to give up. Just as the monster is about to crush her, she pulls out a sharp weapon and stabs it deep into its chest. She runs into the jungle, but the monster follows her. Both are badly hurt. The creature catches up and almost attacks her. The monster stumbles, dizzy and weak. She pushes the spear even deeper until it finally falls dead. In the end, she holds the monster's head in her hands as proof of what really happened on this island.